Thelema is founded by the famous occultist Aleister Crowley in the early 1900s, but its central text was the Book of the Law, written by Aleister Crowley himself. Two of the central concepts are, quote, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, and, quote, love is the law, love under will. So essentially they believed in sex magic, which is the power of sex and
I am not surprised anymore. How do you push an agenda onto people without them knowing that you're pushing an agenda? And you wrap it up and you call it art, you call it entertainment. And that's what you have here at the Olympics. Barbara Butch is the woman in the middle, her own post. Oh yes, the new gay testament. She just told on all y'all on
She really
what
did.
the agenda. Okay, so the reason why I'm not surprised is because I don't know if a lot of people know who Aleister Crowley is. Now, let's watch this.
Thelema is founded by the famous occultist Aleister Crowley in the early 1900s, but its central text was the Book of the Law, written by Aleister Crowley himself. Two of the central concepts are, quote, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, and, quote, love is the law, love under will. So essentially they believed in sex magic, which is the power of sex and
Okay, so they believed in sex magic. What do you see? You see a lot of over-sexualized nonsense taking place, whether it be in the music industry, the Grammys, commercials where kids, I mean, the little blue guy that was in the opening ceremony at the Olympics,
Oh, the one that's supposed to be
practically
like
naked.
wine god or something. He actually represents fertility or sex or something in that Greek thing, whatever it is.
Oh, okay, so where do we get these crazy ideas from? Pay attention.
The act itself and what comes of it. And they believed that while performing these sexual acts, you're performing these rituals, spells, people are scrying. They thought that this was the way to access the other side, something spiritual.
When you experience that, there's that small window, right? So in that window of time, however long the orgasm lasts, they believe
7 minutes for me.
That's impressive. But in my short window of time, it opens that window to, they believe you're able to connect with the universe or whatever the universal power is or love. And it's kind of this connection with the divine. That's why they would do this magic, to invoke those orgasms, in which they would then do spells and whatnot to make things happen or will things into existence.
So they would perform magic to be able to connect with spirits, with divine powers. And when they were having these orgasms, it would be to have some kind of spiritual awakening, spiritual connection or encounter with some kind of deity. Obviously, we know it's not the God that we serve.
Absolutely not. That's weird.
Okay, so this is why I'm not shocked. Look, this guy went ham.
So why didn't you tell us beforehand? Surely you must have had an idea that people would have reacted to this. You had conservatives talking about how they had their children watching the opening ceremonies and didn't know that's what they were going to see. And I saw some of the dance.
The whole world was watching. Okay, keep that in mind, because it's always when it's a big event and the world is watching where we see the most disgusting and awful visuals.
Yeah.
Always when the whole world is watching.
Listen, I'm an adult. I saw some of the dancing that was going out there. I saw somebody, just because you paint somebody in blue don't mean they ain't naked. That person that was in blue was naked. Am I lying? Am I lying? Nope. They were naked. There was no warning here. It's not required for the adults. I get that part. But opening ceremony of the Olympics, you know a bunch of people were watching that with their children. And some people don't want their children seeing that. Whether you like it or not, folks have a right to want their children to see and not see what they choose.
We don't have to discuss what happened at the Grammys. What was it, last year? With Sam Smith? Dressed up as a little red devil?
Yeah. His performance.
Yeah. right? Look at the mainstream music industry. Everything is over sexualized.
Oh, definitely. Like Little Nas X's song where he's twerking on the devil. He goes into hell to twerk on the devil or something like that.
Yep.
Something in that sense.
There you go. Why? Why is it every time you see these main events, it always seems like there's some kind of satanic ritual or performance taking place? That leads me to this video.
As a bizarre means of replenishing his depleting funds, Crowley decided on putting on a public display of rituals. The venue was Caxton Hall in Westminster. Newberg and he would perform the rites of Eleusis over 7 consecutive nights, with Lila Waddle playing the violin and charging an admission fee to the public.
Aleister Crowley decided to put on a public display of rituals in which he charged people to come and watch him perform black magic,
Okay.
accompanied by a musician. So there was music involved.
Okay.
How do you push an agenda onto people without it being blatant?
A reporter from the publication Looking Glass wrote a scathing review, citing the performance and lyrics as gibberish, and also mentioning Crowley's past acquaintances, including George Cecil Jones, as being involved with Crowley in unmentionable immoralities.
These are strategic.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing. These people know who Aleister Crowley is.
I was gonna say it goes really far back for
Yeah.
that's so
A lot of your famous celebrities know who this man is. See what his shirt says?
do what thou wilt, which is Aleister Crowley's line, right?
Yeah,
For
pretty-
his
it pretty much-
religion.
Yeah, it's his religion. It sums up his religion. Totality of it is do whatever you want. Will be the whole of the law. So how you fulfill the law of that religion,
Just do whatever you
you
want.
do whatever you want. What is
Wow.
being pushed today?
Do whatever you want. The free spirit, the free mind, pretty much free to do whatever it is that you want.
In that documentary, and I encourage everyone to go and watch that documentary. I'll link it in the description. Aleister Crowley said that his goal was to recruit all of the young men and to turn them into enemies of heaven.
Just men.
Yeah, just the men. Just the men. To turn them into enemies of heaven.
And that's crazy because the man is the head of a home. So once you get the man, then the rest of the home will crumble. Or if there's not enough men, then there will be no homes to be built. That's crazy.
Do whatever you want shall be the whole of the law. This is why I am not shocked by this anymore. And I know
Oh,
I know
no.
exactly what it is. And it's we're spot on. It is evil. It is evil and it's being
Mhm.
pumped in our faces, but we have to understand that this has been going on for decades, for years, since Aleister Crowley. And a lot
That's
of these
scary.
people, I think one of the men, what's his name? Jeffrey something? Jeffrey Tilly or whatever his name is. What's his name?
The one who created the
Yeah, the guy who created it. I think
a-
he's a
and-
Satanist.
Yeah, he is. He's a Satanist.
Aleister Crowley is a Satanist.
And it's so in our face.
Yeah,
It's so blunt.
that was
they're not trying to hide any of it. I think they tried to cover it up after the fact. But even then, when the apology came in from the Olympic people, whoever, the spokesperson, they still apologized to Christians for it representing the Last Supper. Even though you have all of these people online trying to justify it
Mhm.
as a Greek, something that happened within the Greek, whatever, as a dinner, and the guy being the god of love, but really he's the god of sex and god of wine.
Yeah. If you think about it,
That's
a lot of these
crazy.
people are atheists. They don't believe in God. Therefore, they don't have any kind of um moral standard. What is morality to them? So it's
But
not
see-
a big deal to lie.
But see, that's expected. You get me? Like, I'm not shocked by anyone who doesn't believe in God
Mhm.
to have that stance.
Mhm.
Not shocked at all. What shocked me was when I would see Christians defending that it wasn't the Last Supper, when clearly it's in your face,
Yeah.
and with the background of everything. It's kind of like, well, I'm sorry, but it's right there. And they said it. The main person in the middle of that table pretty much said what she's.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
new
woman,
gay
right?
the new gay testament. She's
Yeah.
she's
And
a
she's
lesbian.
yeah.
And she said on her own Instagram, the new gay testament. I mean,
Like, how can you deny that? Like, as a Christian, how can you deny everything just being blatantly out there
mhm.
and still try and defend the fact, other Christians are just being too sensitive?
It's hard to respect people who don't respect you. It's hard to respect people who don't want you around. You know,
People in
if
their own
people
community are falling out because of how disrespectful they're becoming.
I had to say this. I had to say this one because my husband made an excellent point. If the world doesn't revolve around Christianity, then why is everyone going around it like sharks then? That was perfect, honey. That was great because it's so true. Listen, this is what I don't understand. I never could understand this, okay? You guys hate Christianity, but have you ever read the Quran? Do you know what the Quran says about if anyone doesn't believe in the Muslim religion that they should be taken out? Do you know what the Quran says about same-sexual relations? Do you know what the Quran says about women? But no one ever talks about the Quran. No one ever goes after Allah or Muhammad or the Quran. They don't do that. They only go against Christians. And anytime a Christian speaks out about how fucked up it is, you guys are such the victim. Oh my gosh, get over yourselves. But if I call you the wrong pronoun, you lose your fucking shit, dude. You're over here rioting in the streets. You're over here losing your mind, is what you're doing if I say the wrong pronoun. So, it has nothing to do with being the victim. You all like to attack Christians. And when Christians stand up for what they believe in, you, like the narcissist that it sounds like, the narcissist that you are, I'm just going to say it, will sit there and go, you're not being abused. There's nothing wrong with you. Don't you know it's your fault? Don't you know that you're the problem? Don't you know we'd be better all off without you? It's narcissism. It is 100% narcissism.
I remember having an exchange with my friend Julian on Facebook. And he was saying how much he hated Christianity. And all he kept pointing towards was, oh, Christianity is the reason for all the chaos and all the violence. And you go back to the Crusaders' times and they burned down families and burned down places and they destroyed everything. Christianity is the problem with the world today. And I asked him, and I was like, bro, you really believe that? And I was like, just because people did anything in the name of Christianity or in the name of Jesus doesn't make it right. I'm like, a lot of people did some sus things in the name of God, and it was completely far off from the heart of God. They don't represent God at that moment because they are far off from his ways. And it was like he was saying, like, I think all Christians should die.
Oh, dang.
And I have like no love and no respect for Christianity. If I seen any Christian on the street like struggling, I wouldn't help them. I was like, bro, I know you. We've practically grown up together. I am a Christian. If I seen you struggling, you being a non-believer, I would help you regardless of what I believe in. If you were hungry, I would give you food. If you were cold, I would put clothes on your back. If you needed a place to stay, you can crash in my house. I'm like, bro, that's so disheartening that you like the same kind of love wouldn't be reciprocated, all because I believe in a God that you don't believe in. And it shows the divide.
Mhm.
Us Christians are all about love. The rainbow community, not everyone, but the rainbow community, the radical ones, are not about love. They say they're about
No.
love, but they're not about love. They're about do what thou wilt.